Welcome to the first episode of our No Violence November podcast, where we interview experts on how we can eliminate violence in our communities, region, and beyond. Our first guest is Kerie Ison. Kerie is a guidance counselor here in the Elliott County School District and works with students daily on positive communication strategies and overcoming obstacles in their lives. Kerie, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
As a guidance counselor in our district, how many students would you say you deal with daily that go through violent acts?
District-wide, probably really about 5 a week. I don't really know a date for daily, but for weekly, probably close to 5 throughout the whole district.
What are risk factors you see in young people that may indicate they have experienced violence or may engage in violent behavior?
A lot of the signs that I see, they're either really reserved, they're not having a lot of friends, they're very angry, they seem like they're mad at the world, they most likely have lower academics, and then they're also your kids that you're going to see being sent to the office a lot, and it may not even be that they're really getting in trouble, they're really just seeking some attention, whether it's good attention or bad attention.
What can I or other students/families do if we notice signs of potential violence or someone acting aggressively?
So absolutely report it to someone, whether it be the school counselor or the principal, even a teacher. But also don't be afraid to be a good friend. So ask them how their day's going. Even if you don't really know that person, a nice smile, a nice gesture, somebody checking on that person, it may really help them. So don't be afraid to go up to a complete stranger and say, hey, you look like you're having a bad day.
Do you see any students doing that on a daily basis?
Not really. A lot of kids, they see that concern, but they will come to me and say, hey, I'm really worried about Levi. He looks like he's having a bad day.
Well, at least they are doing something.
They are reporting it, but we want them, to be a good member in the community, to hit that portrait of a learner. When you graduate, you got to be willing to take that step. Even if you don't know that person, get out of your comfort zone. And they may say, I don't even know you, I don't want to talk to you. But be willing to take that step and be a leader and ask how they're doing.
How do you ensure students feel comfortable reporting safety about another student's violent behavior, threats, bullying, or aggressive behavior?
So I always make sure that they know they can come to me and report that, and I let them know that their names will not be mentioned. So if somebody comes and says, hey, I'm really worried about this person, and I've had this happen, they're really worried about their friend, but they don't want their friend to know because they told their friend they wouldn't tell, then I'm not going to mention that person's name. But also I want kids to know, I have signs in my office that says, when you come to tell me something, it's confidential unless 3 things. 1, you're hurting yourself. You want to hurt someone else, or someone is hurting you. Those are the 3. We've got to get help. We've got to tell somebody. But other than that, they know that my office is confidential, and what they say in my office stays.
Well, hopefully throughout this month we can decrease some of that violence.
Absolutely.
What are some strategies you would say students can use to prioritize positive communication with each other?
To have good positive communication, you're going to be an active listener. You're going to make sure that person knows you're with them in this conversation. Your eyes are on them, your ears are on them. You're not trying to talk over top of them. You're allowing them the time to tell you what they want to say. You're going to have respectful language and clear language. If there's something you don't understand, be sure to ask questions. Make sure that you're on the same page together and you're understanding. I would say most importantly, you're going to have good verbal. You're going to see their verbal cues, what they're saying, but also their nonverbal. So your kids that may be a little down or, they're going to have those nonverbal cues. Notice those cues and point them out. Say, hey, I see you're kind of slumped over. You just don't look like you're having a good day. And when you notice those, and you all probably, you could vouch for this too. When people notice little stuff like that, it kind of makes a big deal out of the situation.
I think whenever people do that, they want to be noticed. Yeah. They want that help.
Yeah. And when you notice that and you bring that up, that person says, hey, that person really cares. Yeah. You know, they care enough to not be like, hey, how's it going? And keep walking. You know what I mean? So give that extra effort.
What advice would you give to a student who is being threatened or bullied, or who is worried about someone else's violent behaviors?
Come talk to me. Come talk to your principals. Report it. You have to report it. Nobody can do anything if we don't know about it.
I think talking is one of the most healthy things to do, to get stuff off your mind and stuff.
Yeah, and absolutely. And the principals, they're all here. I mean, even your teachers. We, in Elliott County, we want to make sure that every student has at least one adult in our buildings that they know they can go to. Whether it's me, whether it's your principal, whether it's your teacher. Just be willing to go to that person, open up to them, and that way we can help you.
What can we as high schooler students do to help end violent acts? How can we help our younger students?
Be the role model. Be a good role model. Show them how you're supposed to act, what you should supposed to do, and just promote that positive school climate. You know, a lot of kids come to school and they say, oh my gosh, I don't like school. You know, it's awful. People are mean.
I hope that could change one day.
Yeah, absolutely. But be that person that, you know, is saying, hey, let's go, you know, get you and your friends, get that positive school. Mm-hmm. And it's contagious. You know, once you get a group, then just keep going. Mm-hmm. You have to think, you know, I know you all, a lot of you are part of the sports teams here, part of the clubs. That's a big deal. Let those clubs be the leaders. You all be the leaders and be that good role model and set an example for your peers.
Okay, I like that.
Mm-hmm. If you could use one word that represents your thoughts on reducing violence in our communities, what word would it be?
Kindness. Because when people are kind, like I said, you know, even if someone's going through that violence and they're not getting that kindness, you all showing them that little bit of kindness, it can really make them go a long way.
I also feel like when you do kindness, you smile, and smiles are contagious.
Absolutely.
I feel like that could help a lot of people.
Yeah.
Kerie, thank you again for joining us on our podcast. To our listeners, if you haven't signed our No Violence November pledge yet, we encourage you to visit bit.ly/ECHSJAG to join our movement to end violent acts. You can also follow us on our No Violence November Instagram page and our Elliott County JAG Facebook page to stay up to date on all the things we are doing in Elliott County High School JAG.
Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next week.